Hello, Ashkan. I'm getting fat.
But that's because it was just Thanksgiving, which means the holidays are here, yeah!
Except not really, because they don't celebrate Thanksgiving here in the UK, which is the first of several things that I'm going to be talking to you about that I miss about living in the United States.
That's right, Ashkan, your letter's coming to you in the form of listicle, just like Zach's, because let's face it, I'm uncreative and unoriginal. I mean, seriously, all I do in these videos is copy other YouTubers' vlogging style, fill my videos with content that I rip off from my girlfriend, and look a little bit like John Green, so might as well keep rolling with it. So here you are, 10 things that I miss about living in the United States. As I said, thing number one is definitely Thanksgiving, because I think Thanksgiving is one of those holidays that actually achieves what it sets out to do. I mean, most holidays are just commercialized jackassery, like Christmas and Valentine's Day and Mother's Day and all that sort of stuff. I mean, the ideal behind them is really nice, but really what you end up doing is just spending a bunch of money on someone and making the fat cats at Walmart rich. And to a certain extent, that happens on Thanksgiving as well. Like, I'm sure turkey farms love the holiday, and pointedly ignoring the ethically and racially dubious origins of the holiday. Most of the time, Thanksgiving actually forces people to be good. Like, we all sit around and go to our loved one's house and tell everybody how much we love them, and it's just a great big happy day. It's a welcome reminder to not be a dick and just love everybody, and to be thankful for everything that's good in our lives, which arguably we should be doing every day, but I mean, hey, if it works, it works. And because of that, Lex and I did have our own little Thanksgiving, and if you want to see pictures of it, you should go to our Instagram account, link in the description. And I cooked up all the traditional foods. We had a green bean casserole, mashed potatoes and gravy, and turkey. I was even able to find stuffing, which was really hard, trust me. And it turned out to be a pretty decent meal, which we needed, because the thing I missed number two is food. Now don't get me wrong, I mean, there is some good food here. Like the Indian food, for example, is off the charts. It is so good. And there are actually some decent, like, UK sort of places to eat, but they're all way more expensive than anywhere else. So basically you just end up with a lot of chip shops that sell, like, you know, pizza and doner kebab and fish and chips, burgers, but those burgers are which surprised me because they have so many damn cows here. You'd expect it to be way better, and like the dairy's really good, but the meat's a little, again, unless you're willing to spend a bunch of money on it. Like back in Albuquerque, there's good food everywhere, and indeed most of the United States, like no matter what time of the day, you can get good food. It's even better in huge cities like New York, man. You can get anything you want to eat at any time, and it's gonna be delicious. Like if it's 3 a.m. and you want a chocolate chip and bacon cookie delivered to your house by one of the little munchkin guys from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory riding a horse, you can make that happen. But here, like I said, we just got those weird little chip shops, and the food's just ugh. And speaking of, that brings me to the next thing I miss. Good bacon. The standard bacon that they serve here is called back bacon, which as you can see is this weird, like almost ham-like consistency, like they're just huge, big pieces of meat. And if you want the good old-fashioned American stuff, you have to buy what they call streaky bacon. And to be honest, that took Lex and I quite a while to figure out. We wanted that good, like crispy American niceness, and instead we were getting served these like steaks o' bacon. And that just flabbergasted me. Like, how did that happen? The UK is a huge place. You think at some point somebody been like, man, this bacon sucks, we need to figure something out. And the difference between back bacon and streaky bacon leads me to my next point. Another thing I really miss is knowing what the hell I'm buying. And it's not just the normal stuff that you'd expect. Like, you know, you see in movies and stuff all the time, so you know that biscuits are cookies, and crumpets are cake, and muffins are, you know, weird. But there's a lot of things that have really weird different names. And it's all things you'd never expect, so it takes you forever to find the food that you want. Like, for example, for the longest time, I didn't think Swiss cheese existed here, but it does. It's just called a mental. And then when I wanted to make some whipped cream for the pumpkin pie, I ran into another weird problem. Look at all this cream. As I said, the dairy's really good here, so that means they have all sorts of different types of cream, like extra thick double cream, or regular double cream, or single cream, or creme fraiche, or soured cream, or clotted cream, but nothing called whipping cream, so I didn't know what the hell to buy. And this gets really frustrating when you're trying to find a specific food, but it's called something different, and it gets way worse when you start dealing with produce. For example, we thought zucchini just didn't exist here, but it does. But they're called courgettes. Eggplant is called aubergine. Arugula is called rocket, and green beans are called fine bean. Lettuce is called cause. And the list just goes on and on like that. Shit, it even extends to store names. TJ Maxx is TK Maxx. And it's so frustrating. Like, you just never know if what you're buying is actually what you want. You're like, I'm pretty sure this looks like a zucchini, but is it? I just wish I knew what the hell I was getting into. Plus, everything's sold in different quantities. Like, nothing's sold in gallons, it's sold in liters. An imperial gallon is different from a US gallon. So you can't just use the regular math that a lot of us know to convert these things. Which means Google conversions have become one of my best buddies. And speaking of shopping, that brings me on to the thing I missed number 4, 5... I don't know, I should really keep track. Cheap gas. That sign just said it's £1 and 8.9 pence per liter of gas. And if you do the math and the conversions on that price, that means that they're paying about $6.20 per US gallon. And that's wicked expensive, which means it's a good thing that there's so much public transportation. Side note, this is just a random weird difference. On the pumps here, black means diesel and green means gas. It's the exact opposite. Thing I missed number square root of 43, American soda. You see, this is Scottish soda. It's called Iron Brew, and it's actually pretty good. One of the reasons I like it more than most soda here is because it uses actual sugar. You see, here, they use aspartame to sweeten everything. You heard me right, aspartame, the thing that's been demonstrably proven to cause cancer. Like, it just does. It causes cancer. And they have the gall to call out Americans for using high fructose corn syrup. I mean, really, what's the difference here? Side note, it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna use Lex's cute little pig umbrella here. What, you wanna fight about it? Which reminds me, that's thing number 36. Article A, subsection 2, I miss the sun, which goes hand in hand with thing number I miss being dry. Now, I'm not completely going back on what I told Zach about the weather a couple weeks ago, link in the description, because I do feel like they play up the bad weather here worse than it actually is. But the Scots were right. Winter has come, and it definitely isn't as nice as it used to be. But I'm pretty sure it stops. Thank God. And see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, the weather's not terrible here, but it does rain a lot. It just does it, like, all the time, off and on throughout the day, which is how we end up with such a beautiful green place. But it does get a bit tiring. Like I said, when I was first getting here, everybody was like, oh, no, you gotta go out and enjoy the summer. Enjoy the sun while it lasts, because winter is coming. And I was expecting it to be, like, negative 400 degrees, and like, it'd be impossible to go outside based on how everybody was talking. But really all it is that it rains a lot. And it gets dark really, really early. Like, the sun is going to be setting in probably about 20-30 minutes here, and it's like 3 p.m., which means it's completely pitch black, like midnight dark at about 4. And then the sun doesn't rise until like 8:30 or 9 a.m. So you get like 2 hours when it isn't raining and the sun's out that you can actually go and get crap done. All right, we're approaching my house, which is going to bring me on to the thing I missed, number whatever. And that's normal house numbering. As you can see, my house is numbered number 3. So you'd think that that would mean that it'd be easy to find. You have my house number and my street name, and you just go there and you can figure it out. But numbering is not based in any logic whatsoever in the UK. It is absolutely asinine, because sometimes streets are numbered in like a counterclockwise fashion. So it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 blah. And that kind of makes sense, but it's obviously very different from what we're used to in the US, where we have like evens on one side, odds on the other, and they both just ascend. But here's a problem. That happens sometimes in the UK as well. And then throw into the mix that sometimes there isn't even numbers on houses. Like, sometimes houses just have names. So then you'll have like 1, 2, the Woodworth Cottage, 3, 4, and then sometimes they'll just throw a random 0 in there because it's a house that was built after the street was already numbered. And here's another thing that doesn't make any sense. Like, everything's based on postcodes, right? Now, in my postcode, it only has to do with the houses on my street, and there are 2. There's my neighbor's house, and then there's my house. And yet somehow I get number 3. Side note, Ashkan, I didn't just go to the store so I could yell at my phone in a public place. I picked up ingredients to make delicious biscuits and gravy. And as delicious as that was, that's a good segue into the next thing that I miss, which is, of course, thing number solved for x, 3x minus 66 equals 69.3 repeating, and that's convenience. Because yeah, that was a great meal, but I had to go and walk to the store while it was raining, and it had been snowing earlier. I had to put it off just to do that. And then I had to make it from scratch in order to eat well. And of course you can eat delicious food here from restaurants, but then you have to pay for it. Seriously, everything here like shuts down at 5 o'clock, and that's really inconvenient. Like the superstores like Waitrose and Tesco are basically anything that stays open past 5. None of the convenience stores, or as they call them here, newsstands. And the whole city, just like the lights turn down. And I remember I was talking to this dude on the bus about this once, and I was like, man, everything here closes so early. And he's like, yeah, isn't it great? And I was like, no, but of course that's what they're used to. And so they think it's really good, which it is, like for the workers. But you can't do that 3 a.m. munchkin from Charlie Chocolate Factory stuff here at all. Never. And then that got me to thinking, and maybe it's a good thing that everything's less convenient here, because, you know, in America, like, we need everything now. And I think part of that is because we can get it now. And then we get upset if we don't get what we want when we want it. But here, everybody's like way less anxious. Everybody's like way more relaxed. And I think part of that is because they're used to just like chilling at home. They just hang out with their family. They cook a big meal and they talk about how much they love each other. So it's like Thanksgiving every day here. And anyway, on to the last thing I missed. Finally, thing number 10. It's you guys. Ashkan, I miss you. I miss Zach. I miss Tiana. I miss everybody I make these letters for. I miss my mom, my grandma, my dad. I miss everybody I work with. Who do you miss?
Digby!
He's pretty good.
I miss the rest of you guys too, though.
Because we have made some friends here, but, you know, you guys are close to my heart. I've known you longer, and I want to hug you. But all that being said, everything that I miss, it shouldn't take away from the fact that this place is amazing. I love it here, and for proof of that, you can go check out my past videos. But really, all this stuff that I miss, all it's done is make me appreciate home more. Like, and as I said earlier, I steal all of my content from Lex, so, you know, this is just a continuation of that. There's a bunch of people in Albuquerque that hate Albuquerque. Like, it's really common there. Everybody's just like, this place sucks, and everybody wants to get out. They call it the land of entrapment, and it's stupid. There's so much to love about Albuquerque. There's so much to love about everybody's hometown, but everybody just kind of overlooks it because they're used to it. So take this as a lesson or a warning from me or whatever you want. Love your hometown. Love Albuquerque. I know, Ashkan, that you want to move to, like, you know, Arizona, but while you're still in Albuquerque, appreciate it and love it for what it is. Just like I love you. And because I do love you so much, I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, wait a minute, how can Daniel be getting fat if he has to walk everywhere to do everything, if the food sucks and he has to spend so much time doing anything? It seems like it should be impossible for him to gain any weight, and there's a simple answer for that. You see, this is called shortbread, and shortbread is made by mixing 3 parts of flour, 2 parts of butter, and 1 part of sugar. So, you know, it's pretty healthy for you, and it's really really tasty when you top it off with Nutella. But I don't mess around when I buy Nutella, homie. I literally buy my Nutella by the kilo. I'm pushing keys of Nutella. This ain't a joke, Ashkan. Who is it you think you see? Do you know how much Nutella I eat in a year? If I told you, you wouldn't even believe me. Do you know what would happen if I decided to stop eating Nutella for a day? A business that's listed on the NASDAQ goes belly up, disappears, it ceases to exist without me. So no, you clearly don't know who you're talking to. So let me clue you in. I am not in danger of getting fat. I am the fat. A guy goes to the gym and gets ripped and you think that's me? No. I am the one who snacks. Seriously, I do love you, brother, and I miss you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!
Toodles!
I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.